Hello, this video is how to create incremental sales working with cashback affiliates. The too long, didn't read top tips are to require a customer to spend a minimum amount through minimum spend tiers in order to access cashback. Offer cashback on valuable actions, such as asking the consumer to buy a slow-moving product in order to gain cashback. Leverage exclusive cashback rates for prepaid exposure. You can offer an exclusive rate to one cashback partner, and in exchange for them having the highest rate in the market, you may be able to negotiate some media that you would have to have paid for in advance as part of the deal. Set cashback at different levels for new and returning customers. You may want to ask a returning customer to spend more money in order to access cashback. Make cashback appealing. Always try to go for attractive cashback rates. Pay attention to your terms and conditions to ensure you only pay cashback out on what you want. The rest of this session will basically aim to cover one thing, and that's to understand how to create incremental value from cashback affiliate partners. To do this, we'll look at rules for creating value and practical examples. Firstly, what is a cashback affiliate? It's a website, app, or other environment that allows a consumer to receive a cash reward for shopping with a brand. How does it work? Cashback sites will, usually through an affiliate network, form partnerships with brands. Instead of the brand paying the cashback site a commission and the cashback site keeping that commission, the cashback site would instead pass on 50 to 100% of the commission to the consumer in the form of cashback. Once the partnerships are formed, the cashback site can then list offers from various brands. There'll also be marketing to try and attract consumers to use their platform to gain cashback. And the last thing is the cashback site will pay a consumer their cashback once a tracked transaction has occurred. The consumer journey for cashback is the following. A consumer will join a cashback platform and will then begin to browse and discover cashback offers from brands. They'll then click through a particular offer or brand that they like. They will then go on and convert, and that whole transaction is tracked. And as it's tracked, they'll then be allocated the applicable amount of cashback, and the cashback site will pay that out to them. So the consumer will receive their cashback on purchases made through the cashback site. Why consumers use cashback? Well, there's a type of consumer that prefers a cash reward to a discount or another incentive for completing a purchase. And there are several millions of people like this around the world. The golden rule then for brands when working with cashback is to make sure that cashback is offered on incremental customer action. A model for incremental customer action is displayed here through 4 stages. The assessment stage, where the business will determine what is incremental and valuable to it. This could be, for example, requiring customers to spend more than other customers typically spend through other channels. For example, a minimum spend for cashback of £80 when the business usually sees customers spending £50. Customer value will be determined through testing. And through testing, the brand will be able to understand which cashbacks rates or rates of cashback are the most valuable to the consumer. At the incentive stage, the brand will decide what cashback it wants to offer, and there'll be a better understanding of what the consumer will find appealing. At the value exchange, it's simply a case of what cashback offer the brand wants to put into the marketplace for consumers to use. And then we reach the value stage where both the brand and the consumer get a valuable outcome. An example of this is now displayed. We see at the assessment stage, a higher than average order value is sought by the brand, whereas the consumer seeks an attractive rate. The brand will then decide to implement a minimum spend for access to cashback. And through testing, the brand understands now that customers desire a 5% rate of cashback. Just a note on testing, this can typically be done by the brand by offering different rates into the marketplace or by receiving customer feedback. At the exchange stage, then, we see a 5% cashback on spends over £100, which at the value stage leads to the brand, in this example, getting a £50 higher than average spend from the consumer, and the consumer getting a good cash reward. The incremental cashback model benefits are, firstly, that it allows brands to change consumer behavior and encourage consumers to take incremental actions. So the brand isn't just offering cashback to consumers that would have purchased anyway. Linked to that is a change in behavior, where consumers are now being rewarded for doing something incremental, such as spending more money, which is good for the brand and something the brand will want consumers to do. Generally, cashback is viewed as more brand safe than, say, using vouchers or discounts. And this is especially true when cashback is linked to an incremental action, such as a minimum spend. Lastly, the model is quite flexible. The example there was just one example, and there are many other ways that brands can use the model to essentially use cashback to generate incremental actions from consumers. So, how to find and manage cashback affiliate partners. Generally, less is more. A few quality partners with a wide coverage of the majority of the cashback shopping audience of a relevant geographic location or locations is the best approach. What that means is to work with a few partners that have millions or tens of millions of cashback members, as opposed to working with hundreds of different cashback sites, because essentially you'll just be double covering yourself. You'll just be working with the sites where people maybe signed up to more than one. And it's a lot easier just to manage a few relationships with cashback sites as opposed to hundreds. So then, on to quality and coverage. With this, you want to look at how the cashback site treats you as a brand, but also how they treat their own members, because consumers join cashback sites as members. In terms of quality, you'll want to ensure that the cashback site is responsive when you email and query them, so you know that they have good service and care about you as a brand. I would also keep an eye on what customers are saying about how responsive they are and generally how customers rate them. You then want to look at how much the cashback site cares and invests in their own branding. They may, for example, be advertising on television or through the internet, and you want to make sure that you're working with cashback sites that have a good brand image. You'll then want to look at if they have the ability to target particular types of audiences or consumers, because then that will help get your cashback offer in front of the right people. In terms of coverage, as I've touched on, making sure that there is a wide coverage of a relevant cashback audience. Inspecting the market share that they have. So if you, for instance, find that two cashback partners have 90% of all consumers that shop through cashback, then you may just want to work with those two. And if there's a third that covers the last 10%, or maybe that's split between 3 or 4 partners, then you may want to consider working with them as well. Lastly, loyalty. And again, linking it back to how much consumers and what consumers think about the cashback platform, how loyal the cashback platform is at being able to retain members. In terms of finding cashback partners, the easiest way to do this is through an affiliate network. However, they can be found manually using a search engine with a query such as cashback platform or cashback site. There's a bit more detail on how to find them. In the network, you can use the directory, or they may apply directly to you, or you can apply to work with them. Or you could ask the network for a gap analysis, which is basically a list of cashback sites that they'll give you for cashback sites that are relevant for you and your brand. In terms of manually searching, as I touched on, using a search engine, or you may want to search app stores or any other environment or application that a cashback site may be present. In terms of managing cashback sites, it's up to the brand to communicate the levels of cashback and to police the cashback that is offered by the affiliate, and also to make sure that the correct terms and conditions are in place and those are clearly communicated to the consumer. In terms of management, if we look at opportunities, primarily the opportunities will come through having a great relationship with the cashback site, which is what I encourage all brands to do, have a great relationship with affiliates. You may be able to negotiate or leverage different commercials, different rates of cashback to unlock opportunities with the cashback site. And you may want to investigate what media the cashback site typically has for sale on a prepaid basis. In terms of compliance, it's important to audit cashback sites constantly to make sure the correct rates are displayed, or else consumers may complain about that. It's important to take time when approving cashback sites to work with you and making sure that they meet the right criteria for your brand, and also to keep an eye on the search engine landscape just to make sure that cashback sites are displaying the right information in search engine results. Now, onto the commercial aspects of management. You'll primarily be using and working with the cashback sites through a CPA, which they will convert some or all of into cashback for their members. You can also offer an exclusive rate to one cashback site, giving them the highest rate in the market, which can be leveraged for prepaid media. You can buy prepaid media, and some cashback sites allow brands to offer certain things for free as free cashback. For example, a customer deciding to sign up to your email database could give them a very low amount of free cashback, but it's important to make sure that anything like that is GDPR compliant and is the right thing to do for your brand. In terms of budget and investment, cashback partners by default have to work on a CPA. That's the only way they can offer cashback to their members. And you'll get a free merchant page where they'll house your cashback offers. However, the best media, such as media on their homepage, will generally require prepayment. In terms of how you go about budget and investment with cashback sites, I would recommend the Goldilocks test, which is introducing different cashback rates into the market over a period of time, and then looking at how many conversions each rate accomplishes. By doing that, you'll then be able to learn what your best cashback rate is in terms of being able to balance what cashback you offer with being able to achieve as high a profit margin as possible. You then want to move on to testing exclusive cashback rates and seeing what uplift and impact those have. But I'd only recommend doing this when you know what your baseline is without having an exclusive rate. So then you can determine what the true value of an exclusive rate is. The same can be said for prepayment. You want to establish what your baseline performance is on a particular cashback rate before investing in this media, because then you can have a better picture of what the uplift is of that kind of investment. In summary then, use minimum spend tiers, offer cashback on valuable actions, leverage exclusive cashback rates for prepaid exposure, set cashback at different levels for new and returning customers, make cashback appealing, and pay attention to the terms and conditions that you have in place. To find out more, to get in touch with me, my email is displayed here, and I have a section in my book on how to work with cashback partners if you want to look into that. It's on Amazon and it's called The Advertiser's Guide to Affiliate Marketing. I'd appreciate if you could like, subscribe, and share, and leave a comment below if you found this video to be useful.